Tonight on NewsWatch 12 at 6, we're tracking the results of the May special election as results are rolling in. The major results that you need to know about coming up next. Plus, one local jail is aiming to tackle Oregon's opioid crisis on the front lines. How House Bill 4002 is making a noticeable difference coming up right now on NewsWatch 12 at 6.
Live, local, late breaking. This is NewsWatch 12 at 6.
A confrontation between a former Ashlin city employee and an Ashlin police chief ended in an arrest at last night's city council meeting. Thanks for joining us tonight. I'm Haley Gravid. The dispute followed sharp criticism of proposing policy changes. NewsWatch 12's Samantha Cadera has more on what led to this.
What happened?
He hit him.
Tensions ran high in the Ashlin City Council chambers Tuesday night. Former councilor Eric Novakis and police chief Ty O'Meara confronted each other in the foyer outside the chamber.
Who hit who?
He was being racist.
He was. He just
It was.
that black people are
Our criminals. That's what I said. I'm digesting.
Okay. The confrontation followed comments from Novakis, who raised concerns about a proposal to ban repeat offenders from Ashlin's enhanced law enforcement areas without a trial, relying solely on police testimony.
Imagine this applied to a community where we have a large minority of, say, black people, impoverished black people who are possibly more engaged in criminal activity.
The confrontation escalated outside council chambers, where audio captured raised voices and accusations of racism. Police say Novakis shoved Chief O'Meara, who then grabbed Novakis' coat. Officers escorted Novakis to the police station, where he was arrested on charges of harassment and disorderly conduct.
In the space of the last few minutes, we have had 2 acts of violence that have disrupted the work of this council. One of them was verbal. One of them was physical.
Novakis has a history of legal run-ins, including offenses ranging from trespassing and disorderly conduct to interfering with law enforcement, spanning several counties in Oregon. I reached out to police chief Ty O'Meara, but was told he already left for the day. I'm also working to get in contact with Eric Novakis for a comment. I will continue to follow this as more details come to light. Reporting in Ashlin, I'm Samantha Cadera.
And over in Curry County, voters have rejected the measure that would have implemented a new 5-year tax levy to restore law enforcement staffing. Voters have said no to Measure 8117 in a 60-40 vote. Prior to the vote, Sheriff John Ward said there's no one left to patrol the roads, while some county leaders question the management and whether the funding plan was a solid choice. The vote against Measure 8117 means the county will not add that 5-year tax levy. And looking at some other local measures over in Klamath County, 60% of voters voted yes for Measure 18137, which will dissolve and end operations for the Midland Community Park District. But voters voted yes on Measure 18138, forming the Midland Community Park on a permanent tax rate of 25 cents per $1,000 of assessed property value. And Measure 18139, which would form a public safety district in East Klamath County on an $89 tax per lot. About 79% of voters said no to the measure. And the Measure 18140, which is a new 5-year tax levy for operations and maintenance for Rocky Point Fire EMS, just over 50% of voters said no to that measure. And voters voted for another tax levy for the Two Rivers North Road District. Almost 60% of voters said yes to Measure 18141. We'll take a look at some results in Jackson County coming up on NewsWatch 12 at 6:30. In the meantime, you can find all of the results on our special election page on KDRV.com. Now let's check in with Storm Tracker 12 Chief Meteorologist Matt Hoffman for a look at our conditions for us, Matt.
Well, pretty nice out there, Haley. We do have some warmer temperatures out there. Let's take a view from our NewsWatch 12 Weather Cam network. It's 78 degrees in Medford, 70 in Klamath Falls. Quite a bit of cloud cover in the Mount Shasta area, 71 degrees, but ending the day with a bit of sun in Gold Beach, 57 degrees right now. It's 58 down 101 in Brookings, 57 in Crescent City, well into the 70s in many of our west side valleys. It's 70 in Klamath Falls as well as Christmas Valley. Winds a bit breezy out there, those late day breezes picking up for a lot of our inland valleys. As we take a look at the satellite and radar imagery, a lot of cloud cover across Klamath and in Lake County. Some returns showing up on the radar, but this is not reaching the ground. It's evaporating before it gets there. But we're going to keep an eye on this system. It could touch off a few showers, a slight chance of that tonight into tomorrow morning. In the Rogue Valley, we'll get some more clouds rolling through the region as we head through tonight. Sunset tonight is at 8:33 p.m. 60 degrees by 11. It's not going to be as cold tonight. Only down to 49 in Medford, dropping to 39 in Klamath Falls. That slight chance for a shower for southern Oregon. But what about the rest of the week and the weekend? Of course, we're watching Memorial Day weekend as well as what to expect for Boatnik. We'll take a full look at that holiday weekend and Memorial Day weekend forecast coming up in just a bit.
And new at 6 tonight, seasonal boat inspection stations are now open and watercrafts will be required to stop. The Oregon State Marine Board says this is part of their effort to protect lakes, rivers, and streams from invasive species like golden mussels. While invasive freshwater mussels have not been found in our waterways, they have been detected in both Idaho and in California. There are 5 inspection stations nationwide with additional crews setting up temporary sites at boat ramps. In our region, there are locations in Ashlin, Brookings, and Klamath Falls. All watercrafts must stop, including canoes, kayaks, and paddle boards. The Marine Board asks that you clean, drain, and dry your watercraft to prevent the spread of invasive species. House Bill 4002 repealed many parts of Measure 110, in particular recriminalizing the possession of drugs. But one stipulation in the bill, availability of drug treatment programs in county jails. Rocky Walker is sharing how Jackson County is leading the way.
Jackson County Jail could host up to about 300 prisoners at any given time. But with the new program, they're hoping to impact recidivism as well as drug addiction in our community, making sure the people who go through these doors don't come back. Jail, a place nobody wants to be, but where some people say they can get the help they need.
The MOUD program, which stands for Medications for Opioid Use Disorder, really started because we identified that there was a need and an opportunity here at the jail.
The program provides medication to treat drug addiction in the jail system, paired with peer support counseling and assessments for their needs, all taking place the moment they step foot in the door.
Within an hour or so, typically, of somebody actually getting patted down in the intake of our facility, we start, if we can get 3 days out of somebody while they're in custody, we could potentially get them through that entire process and release them with a plan.
Much of the funding for the program coming as a part of HB 4002 and the repeal of Measure 110. A $10 million endeavor to start and expand MOUD programs in the state.
It's an opportunity when they're in jail to help them stabilize, to help them work with case management, to get their life back under control so that when they leave jail and re-enter the community, they have a huge step up.
A community effort, they say, with different organizations working together. Many of those on the front lines having gone through the jail system themselves.
Have taken that struggle and taken their own individual successes in that struggle and the continued fight that they have, and they've turned that into something that's really amazing for our community.
In Medford, I'm Rocky Walker.
And we have an update tonight on the spring fire in Siskiyou County. It's now 50% contained and all evacuation warnings have been lifted. CalFire says crews are reinforcing containment lines today and monitoring fire activity. As firefighters continue their suppression efforts, police are still seeking a person of interest that was seen near Mount Shasta City Park. This person is described as a white adult male with a slender build and a scruffy beard. He has short curly hair and was seen wearing gray sweatpants without a shirt or shoes. We spoke with Mount Shasta police yesterday who said that this is not a suspect as the cause of this fire is still under investigation. But as we move into fire season, CalFire is sharing their new AI chatbot, which delivers both wildfire updates and fire prevention tips. The chatbot works for incidents with CalFire's jurisdictions that are greater than 10 acres. When asked about the spring fire, it shared its activity status, containment, and the start date. And the Klamath National Forest is asking you to be cautious on various road closures across Happy Camp and Oak Knoll Ranger District. These dangerous road conditions include road slips, rock slides, down trees, and washouts. Forest Service crews are working to mark roads that are closed. A full list of those closures inside the Klamath National Forest can be found on KDRV.com. And looking ahead to Memorial Day, the Eagle Point National Cemetery will be honoring fallen service members with their annual Memorial Day ceremony. On Monday at 11 a.m., community members are invited to honor fallen service members as well as their families. Event organizers say that parking inside of the cemetery fills up pretty quick, but those who can't get a spot inside of the cemetery can catch a golf cart to be dropped off at the gates.
The Storm Tracker 12 summer forecast is tomorrow. Here's a preview of just some of what you'll see tomorrow. As we head into summer, our reservoirs are full. It's been years since that's been the case. Sarah will have a closer look and details on a beach safety program along the coast that's unique to the state. We're also keeping an eye on fire season. It's right around the corner. We'll have a look at our drought update, how fire crews are preparing for fire season, and details on a bill going through Congress that would provide more money to research on smoke impacts to local vineyards. And then we're also keeping an eye on Crater Lake. This will be the last summer to do boating and swim in Crater Lake as a construction project will take place next summer. We'll also look at how the city of Dunsmuir is trying to get a safe new path for the public to see Mossbury Falls. Those stories and so much more coming up tomorrow on the Storm Tracker 12 summer forecast. That's tomorrow at 6:30 p.m. Join us then.